Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In this video, I want to share a post-burn review of HomeWorx Pumpkin Gingerbread. Now, this is not actually my first time burning this fragrance. It sounded really familiar when I first got it, and I was like, I feel like I've had a pumpkin gingerbread from HomeWorx before. So I went ahead and looked through some of my older videos, and I have referenced a HomeWorx pumpkin gingerbread in an empties video before. I think it was like 6 or 7 years ago. So this is definitely a repackage here. For the life of me, I don't even remember burning that candle. Something about it just kind of sounded familiar, like in the back of my head, but like I didn't immediately go, oh yeah, pumpkin gingerbread is back, right? And I don't know why I would not have filmed a like in-depth post-burn review, because I always do that. When I get a new to me fragrance, if you will, I always like to review all of the new scents that I bring into my, fragrance collection, because honestly, I like having this record of my different thoughts and opinions on a lot of these candles, because I do go through a lot of home fragrance, right? And sometimes you can kind of forget like what your opinion is on something, especially if you're burning a lot of different candles. So I really like burning these post-burn reviews because hopefully it is, helpful to you guys in terms of making a decision whether you want to add something to your collection or not. But it's also for my own personal benefit of being able to look through my older videos and go, oh yeah, actually I've already had that, and either I liked it, yeah, go ahead and repurchase it, or I didn't like that at all, do not buy that again. So yeah, I find this whole like catalog of post-burn reviews to be really helpful for me as well. So I didn't review this one back in the day, so we're gonna do it today, you guys. We're gonna dive into pumpkin gingerbread. Here's the like bummer of the situation though, is that this is actually currently sold out. I think it'll probably potentially come back in stock. It's worth keeping an eye out for because it is a really nice gingerbread scent, and I think it would actually be great for the holidays as well. It's a little bit of a bummer that it is currently sold out, because until I think it's October 8th, HomeWorx has actually increased our ambassador discount codes from 15% to 25% off. So that's a pretty good deal. I think the one wick is available on the HomeWorx website, but I don't know. I don't buy the HomeWorx one wicks. You can also find the one wick at Ulta, by the way, if you're interested. But if there's anything else that you want to grab from the HomeWorx website and you want a slightly higher discount than what is normally offered, my discount code is Melanie P. That'll save you just a little bit extra off at checkout until October 8th. But yeah, this one's currently sold out. Sorry about that. I always hate reviewing candles that are currently sold out, but it might pop back into stock, so I think it's worth keeping an eye out. But let's go ahead and dig into this one. I think it's a really nice gingerbread. It's not overly spicy, so if you typically find a lot of gingerbread scents to be a little too heavy on that like spicy ginger note, you might like this one. So let's go ahead and get into it. As always, let's get started by reading through the scent story and then dig into the top, middle, and base notes. I'll tell you what my nose smells in this fragrance. Then we'll move into the overall strength and throw performance. And lastly, we will end it with overall burn quality. So the scent story reads a little bit weird, so bear with me here. I'm not sure why this sentence is throwing me off as bad as it is, but I don't know. I feel like I would have worded this differently, but let's just go with it. Okay, the scent story. Get in line for a delicious treat of our pumpkin gingerbread. A rich blend of pumpkin puree, select harvest spices, fresh ginger zest, and a sweet vanilla cream, freshly baked daily. All right, the top notes. Some of these are a little random. Let me just warn you right now. The top notes: orange, lemon, ginger, and eucalyptus. I know. Listen, I don't smell any eucalyptus, but we'll come back to it. The middle notes: clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, and pimento berry, which you don't see super often. At the bottom, we have vanilla caramel and fir balsam. So what do I actually smell here? First of all, I think this smells like a really nice, not overly spicy, not cloying, but actually really delicious, slightly more like European type of gingerbread scent. I do think there is a distinct pumpkin note here for sure, even though it's not actually listed in the top, middle, or bottom notes. On the bottom of the label, they have pumpkin puree listed. These are the notes from the bottom: pumpkin puree, harvest spice, ginger zest, and vanilla caramel. So I do actually smell a like pumpkin puree type note. It really does smell like you just opened a can of pumpkin puree to, I don't know, make your Thanksgiving pie with or whatever. So yes, there is a definite prominent pumpkin note here to my nose. But in terms of these top notes, I don't really get much in the way of orange here. I don't get much in the way of lemon. Maybe in the way background as a suggestion, yes, but like an outright like prominent citrus note is just not present here to my nose at all. I do definitely smell that ginger, and for me, definitely I would also put the pumpkin puree as a top note. It is one of the first things that I smell. What I do not smell at all is eucalyptus. Listen, if you're looking at this and going, what? Don't worry, there's no eucalyptus in here. It has to be a typo. I don't even know why you would even consider putting eucalyptus in a delicious gourmand like this, because I feel like it would just ruin it. I don't know, that has to be a typo. You cannot convince me otherwise. So yes, there is a nice pumpkin puree at the very top, and there is a really nice ginger. It is not an overly spicy ginger. This smells like a softer, more like European, maybe German type gingerbread. It's not overly spicy, but it definitely gives off those like ginger zest vibes, but pretty, you know, not overly aggressive. The mid notes. This is mostly the harvest spices that are referenced on the bottom of the candle. So the clove, yes, there's a nice clove in here. It's not overwhelming. There's a really nice nutmeg, and there's also a lovely Ceylon cinnamon. So really pleasant, like fall spices that are not overwhelming. I do not smell any pimento berry here at all. So that one is out for me as well. When we get to the base, do I smell vanilla? I do. There is a nice kind of just creamy vanilla note that runs throughout this one, and I think it helps to create that like pumpkin bread, or in the case of this one, pumpkin gingerbread type note. So yeah, a really nice vanilla is present here. Caramel is interesting because I don't think I smell caramel. Every once in a while, there's a little bit of like a molasses note that I notice, but it's not caramel. And really, I only smell that molasses when I get kind of to the end of a burn session. I'm pretty strict with my HomeWorx candles. I do not let them go more than 4 hours at a time. When I do let HomeWorx candles just kind of go willy-nilly, I tend to start dealing with problems with them. And sometimes like the actual fragrance will start to change a little bit. Like it'll start to smell a little scorched or a little burnt. And I feel like with this one, if I go much beyond like 4 or 4.5 hours, that's when I get that kind of molasses, like burnt, I don't want to say burnt sugar. It really is more molasses. Anyway, that's when I start to smell that. So yeah, for what it's worth, it's not so much caramel for me as it is like that intense sweet like molasses, but only if it's been burning for way too long. Otherwise, I don't really smell it. For balsam, no, I don't smell a holiday tree note in here at all. Honestly, it smells like the picture on the label. You get a lot of really nice fall spices. They're not overwhelming. You smell like a pumpkin bread that has some like ginger mixed into it, but not an overwhelming amount of ginger. It is delicious. I love the smell of this. Honestly, I wish it was in stock because I would probably actually get another. It would be a pretty decent sale right now. Definitely keep your eye out. So a lot more of the HomeWorx candles have been starting to pop up again at specifically Ross. Keep an eye out at your local Ross, but also Marshalls and TJ Maxx also have some more HomeWorx candles coming in right now as well. There was definitely a few months of having a total lull in terms of getting new things out at those different discount stores, if you will. But those items are starting to like pop back onto the shelves. So it's worth keeping an eye out there. Also, obviously keep an eye out on the HomeWorx website as well. But in terms of strength and throw, this has been a pretty solid performer for me so far. I would say the strength from day one has been just about a 7. It is a very noticeable fragrance. The throw, I would put probably between a 6 and a 7. It's definitely not a house filler, but it absolutely fills the immediate room where I'm burning it. It does start to travel outside of the area where I'm burning it, but not as far as some other HomeWorx candles have. So yeah, but I'm fine with it. I mean, as long as I have a good strength, the throw, I'm not maybe always as concerned about. I do usually burn at least 2 candles at a time in the downstairs. So I don't just expect one candle to fill the entire downstairs of our like larger, more like open concept type of layout here. So good strength and throw in my eyes. I'm definitely pleased with that aspect of the performance. And so far, I think the overall burn quality has been pretty decent. I will say these wicks are the type that get long pretty fast, and then they start to do that leaning thing, which I feel like HomeWorx candles can be kind of famous for sometimes. So watch the burn on these. If you get too deep of a wax pool, these wicks could potentially keel over on you. I have not had that problem. I just trim them pretty aggressively between each burn, but let's take a look. So this has now been lit for, I don't think it's been 3 hours yet, but it could have potentially been just about 3 hours. So let's take a look at what we're working with here. You can see some of those carbon balls that have fallen back into the wax pool there. So there are some mushroom tops that form with this one. Sorry, I'm trying to get you as close as possible here without dropping my camera into the wax pool. So yeah, I mean, it's a nice, decently deep wax pool here, certainly giving a decent amount of strength. The wicks are, they're getting a little dancey, aren't they? I'm kind of tempted to blow it out. I'll probably let it go for about another half hour, but yeah, I think this one is kind of getting to the point where I think I want to pull it, to blow it out and then just do a subsequent burn tomorrow. But yeah, overall, it hasn't been overly sooty. It's been burning pretty nice and hot, so it's got a decent strength and an okay throw. But yeah, overall, it's a really nice fragrance. And it's also one that I think could definitely go throughout the remainder of the year as well. I think it would make a great Christmas time scent. Maybe, I don't know, peel off the label. The wax color is kind of a like a brown. It's not the prettiest wax color, but it's a nice neutral color. So anyway, for what it's worth, those are my thoughts on this one. Let me know what you think of this particular scent from HomeWorx in the comments down below. Like I said, it's not currently available in the 4-wick version, but I'll link it where you can get it in at least the 1-wick version for now. So I appreciate you guys being here. Subscribe if you are new. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.